Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video, and yet another video featuring Ringo's Look Up. There we go. But anyways, I finally got my vinyl copy, so we're going to take a look at that. And believe it or not, I'm going to do a real review, an actual review with a scoring and everything. I finally got the Dustino Score figured out. So let's see what all happens after the intro. So yes, I've been promising I was going to start actual album reviews on my site. I think at the end of last year of 2023, last year. So it went a whole year, and I still didn't get started here. So, but I finally just told myself this is the perfect album to start with. It's been getting such good reviews from everybody. And I've never really done a review. I've said I was going to do, I mean, I've done reviews, but it's just been more kind of what I kind of felt. This will be a fairly deep dive review. It's going to be as lighthearted as I could make a review, I guess, to be, still Beatle Dustino on that. So, because I don't like to be the biggest critic. If I really like it, I like it. And, if not, I just don't listen to it. And if I love the Beatles, so therefore I listen to everything they put out. Maybe I don't put it on as much as others, but I got a feeling Look Up will. But I got to get on to kind of what we're really, the main focus was, because I wasn't really planning this totally, but I finally got my my white vinyl edition here, the exclusive from his store there. I'll show you the hype sticker there. And it says it's opaque white vinyl, but everything I've been hearing, it's not so opaque, and I've still got everything sealed. So we'll show you here, and wonderful picture of him on the back. So there we go. I got it free of the shrink here. I'll get this pulled off, and we'll get taking a look at it. Of course, this came out on January 10th, 2025, produced by T-Bone Burnett, and we'll show you now with it out of the shrink here, naked out of the shrink. And I gotta remember to hide my face so it maybe will focus on that spine there so you can actually read it. And there's the back, and of course this has got the gatefold with it. Another wonderful picture of Ringo, and this is going to play into the Dustino Score, stuff like this. So I'm kind of wanted to really emphasize this, but really nice on this. Kind of a surprise. I wasn't expecting that they were going to do a lot with Look Up. Most of Ringo's albums are not gatefolds, especially his recent stuff. Don't really come with maybe a little pamphlet or something, but not, posters and such. Speaking of pamphlets, so there is the Elvis Costello little writing up pamphlet here. Sounds like it was a text response he was given to T-Bone Burnett as he was listening to an advanced copy of Look Up. And then we got this poster that comes with it. Everybody's been saying, I've been watching everybody else's unboxings on this and how it's quite large, quite cumbersome, and kind of not a poster you'd want to hang on. Ooh, God, I just tore mine. Oh my gosh. All right, well, there we go. But there we go. There is that. I'm kind of at an odd angle here today. And then the back with all the lyrics and such. So I showed the CD the other day, kind of seeing what that's about. And, everything is pretty similar, just this is an LP package, that's a CD package, but get everything with the two that you get with this. So, and let's take a look at the vinyl here. Just a plain white inner sleeve, not polylined. And let me make sure we got I think this is cool how they did the reverse with the P symbol. So we got the black with the white on the A side there, or the white with the black. I don't know what I would say that's black with the white. For me, I cannot see through this at all, so I don't get where they get opaque out of it. But there's the B side with the white and the black on the P symbol. So very nice on that. Still a nice piece of vinyl here. I really appreciate this. This is nice. I wish that it was opaque, kind of gave it something a little more unique, but I still like it. Okay, and of course it was his 21st studio album, his second country album though, and his first album since 2019, since What's My Name. 11 tracks on it, and I really appreciate he is back to albums. I don't know, is this going to be a swan song kind of, and maybe return back to a few EPs here, or, maybe with how positive the reviews and everything have been on this, will they do possibly another country follow-up album, work with T-Bone again, and maybe a new cast featuring artists? I've kind of suggested that in some comments, with people kind of expressing that they'd like to see this done again. But yeah, I'm kind of glad that he's back to some albums after he kind of swore off that we'd never see albums again. And this has been a pretty solid album. Going to, as we do the Dustino Score, I'm going to try to go and review everything here. So I'm going to try to get all my albums kind of ranked, and then we'll be able to see a true ranking of each individual artist there. You know, when I do a Paul McCartney album ranking, and, you know, whatever's number one, Ram usually, or the Beatles, Rubber Soul, Revolver, we'll get a definitive answer based on my my score here that I'll give everything. And it's going to be a best out of 40 score, is what I kind of came down to. So what I'm going to do, I'll give a little kind of ranking 1 out of 10 number to each of the songs, and I'll go through those right now, and then I'll break down the rest of the rankings here as we get going here. But yeah, we start with Breathless, and pretty good opener on the album there. Really great opener, actually. I have one little note here. I love the stand-up bass on it. You can really hear it good in this one. But throughout the album, I think it's pretty much stand-up bass that they use, and I just love that sound that you get out of that. In this type of music, I wouldn't want it in every type of rock and roll type music, but this type of music, it sounds great. Yeah, I wrote, it kind of gets a little Beatle-y at the end. I kind of noticed there was something just kind of gave me that little Beatle-y feeling on the very end of the song there, and I think it's a pretty solid opener, and I'm going to give it an 8 on that for my score on the individual song there. So we move into Look Up next, and of course Breathless featured Billy Strings. Look Up features the first one that features Molly Tuttle. I just watched Billy Tone's review, and I hope I don't sound like I'm parodying him, but it was funny as I was watching that. I'm like, this is exactly what I've been thinking listening to this. But Molly Tuttle really was great on this album. I really wish, though, on some of these songs, her voice was brought up just a little bit more. It seems to be pretty buried in the mix, and that seems to be with a lot of these featured artists on that, aside from a couple with Molly, where they did bring her up a little more. But I feel like she got kind of buried in there, and I think she's really got a great voice. And exactly what Billy Tone said, I feel like I've got to go explore this lady's catalog. She sounds just great. I really enjoyed her voice, and I was already thinking that before I saw his review, that, boy, I've got to go check out her back catalog here and see what else she's got to provide. My notes on this one was, this is country. Look Up really doesn't sound very country. It sounds very Ringo. It would have fit well on any of his last EPs or albums. It's a very Ringo song. Now, one thing with this album coming out and everything, it kind of has coincided with the horrible news of what's going on in California. I know Ringo's been living in California. I think a lot of his contributions to this album were recorded in California. I don't know if it's just because I'm listening to this album as the news is out or what, but I get a lot of, like, feels like it was a good thing to come out to try to help lift up, look up, you know, those people that are going through this tragedy right now. And the video gave me kind of those vibes too, kind of how they were up in the hills there, and it kind of looks a lot like those hills where those houses are burning, and that obviously in better times with the way that looked in there, you know, green and stuff throughout, not burnt trees and that. But I don't know, it was just kind of weird. I think I watched that right after watching the news, and kind of, oh wow, you know. And then listening to the lyrics on it, burning fire through the haze, light that shines in the darkest days, live to fight another day, good things are going to come your way. I don't know, was it just kind of listening to that after watching that horrible news and trying to think positive thoughts after all that, and this just seemed like a good vehicle to kind of lift that through. And yes, again, Beatley Tone, and I commented to you on this, yes, but I hear a backwards guitar kind of a la Revolver, Beatles on that. So again, we got kind of a Beatle-y sounding tune from him on that. So pretty interesting. But this one I really, really liked. I think this is my favorite off of the album, and I gave it an 8.5 on that. And pretty solid top first 3 tracks on this album here. But Time on My Hands would be the next one. And this one I did right now. This is country. This one definitely sounds country. As I was sitting listening to it, it was just really relaxing, with time on my hands, as I'm kind of just sitting back enjoying an afternoon, relaxing. It just felt like a really relaxing, peaceful track, and I really like that. And I gave this one an 8 too. So that's a really solid first 3 tracks opening up this album here. The next track, the 4th track, is Never Let Me Go. This is where it kind of starts taking a slump. I think Beatley Tone said about the similar thing there. After a great opening, we take a dip, and that's really all I got to say on this one, because it's a song, and I gave it a 6. So there we go. The 5th track is I Live For Your Love, and I said very nice, not groundbreaking. Molly sounds great on this one again. Yeah, her leveling on it seems just right on, right where it should be. So this one, she really does sound good on that, kind of not just so buried in there, like you just barely hear her. She does sound like an actual featured artist on this one. But this one I gave a 7. I did like this one a lot. And the next one is Come Back. Yeah, my note here, I said, moseying on down the trail. That's kind of what I feel like at the beginning of that song. Like you're watching them, the wagons roll off to the west there, down the dusty old trail there. I wrote, I like Ringo's vocal on this. It sounds a little strained, but it fits right in with the song. And this one I'm going to give a 6.5, so nothing really outstanding, but definitely good. The 7th track is Can You Hear Me Calling? And this one is another really highlight of the album, I think, for me. Once again, Molly Tuttle featured on this one. And this one, again, she's got the vocals are at the right levels there. It seems like she matches where you would think a featured artist, being written as a featured artist, should feature on the leveling and everything. Yeah, on that. I absolutely love her in this one. Kind of that call and answer she's got going with Ringo on that. Every time I've been listening to the album so far, and I've listened to it a lot since it came out about a week or so ago. And yeah, I look forward to this track every time. I think I even woke up one morning with it kind of stuck in my head, a little earworm in my head on that. So that's always a positive thing for a song off of an album. So. And yeah, this one I'm giving an 8.5 though, so it's right up there with Look Up on that. So that one pretty strong, and I think that is the highest score I've got on any of these. So there we go. The next one though is a bit of a letdown, Rosetta. I don't know. This is just the goofy me. I think Rosetta Stone, every time I hear it, like they're going to use it in one of their ads or something. Kind of a little slump again, but still not bad. I'm giving it a 6 on that. So the 9th track, we got You Want Some, and this one a little more upbeat, kind of getting you kind of in that swing of things there. Ringo's drums sounded great on it. Still nothing groundbreaking. I kind of like that piano in the middle there, that little piano solo, really sounded good. And I'm giving that one a 6.5. And then we got the next one here, and this one was one, when I first listened to it, I wasn't that big of a fan of it, and it's really grown on me, and it's one of my favorites off of the album. But that would be the 10th track and String Theory. I kind of already mentioned there, it's kind of a grower. First, I wasn't that into it, but the more I listened to it, the more and more I liked it, and it just kind of kept going up and up and up in the ranking there. And once again, we got Molly Tuttle, and just fantastic, and but now she's buried in the mix again. So I don't know what happened with that, how she was on 4 of them, and yeah, she got kind of buried on the first one. The middle 2 she was kind of up front, and then the 4th one she's kind of buried in the middle, down in the mix again there. So kind of strange on that, but I'm going to give that one 8 for String Theory. And then the final song, we got track 11, Thankful, which is kind of the one that Ringo penned. Yeah, it does sound definitely Ringo. Again, with the mix with the featured artist, which was Alison Krauss on this one, where is she? She's really buried and lost in that mix. And of course, you got the Peace and Love lyrics, perfect Ringo, I wrote. And I do got a little note on the other side here. Oh, yeah, once again, going back to the California wildfire stuff, A Beautiful Day in California is one of the lyrics in there. So anyways, that's kind of where we're standing on that. So the album average came out to a 7.36. Altogether with the 11 tracks. So that'll be kind of the first factor in my scoring here for the Dustino Score. The next thing I'm going to kind of throw in is kind of the flow, the vibe of the album. Do I get, a good, do I want to sit and listen to the whole thing? Does it go from track to track great? And yeah, this one I think really does. And so I'm going to give it an 8. The next bit of the Dustino score is going to be more on the packaging and what you get with it, because I do like to focus a lot more on physical media and kind of what you're getting. So I'm going to kind of look at the artwork and the packaging, so what all you got in there. And there are some great photos and stuff of Ringo throughout this, even in the CD package here. Really good. And I really have enjoyed everything that we get with it. Yeah, I kind of gave the poster a little knock, like, you're really going to hang this on your wall? But do you hang any of these posters on your wall? Especially us as more adult collectors, as I think most of us watching this are in our, at least probably our 30s, I would guess, and up. So, and up, in my case, and I know several others out there. So, but yeah, I would say I'd give this a 9 overall. I think they really did a great job with this package, especially the LP one. Really great. I loved what I was seeing, and now that I've got my copy of it here, I can tell this is a really nicely well thought out LP. So, and when I do this Dustino score, I'm going to kind of factor in kind of what I think, even, you know, with the CD packages and stuff. And then on that, it seems like, especially with the Beatles, we get more than one type of release. You know, you got, Paul has got all the special edition and deluxe editions and whatnot, and you eventually get your archive collections and that. So I'm going to factor that in without having to like do a ranking on everything there, or even like a new release like this where you only got a few things. So we do got several ways you can purchase this or enjoy this album. So you got the streaming, of course, which is going to be the most common way nowadays. You got your CD, you got your LP, and you do got your kind of the fourth option here. You do got the special edition white vinyl exclusive. So you got a few options there on how you want to get this or collect it. And so I'm going to give that an 8, believe it or not. So pretty high score on that. And that'll total out everything there. So once we add everything up, out of 40, Look Up is getting a 32.36 on the Dustino score here. So I don't know if this is a outstanding score or a good score or not. It's my first one I've ranked up, so who knows? I got to get a few more reviewed and find out here. So I'm going to start, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start all the way at the beginning, and I'm going to try to do the Beatles, and I think I'm going to start with Please Please Me and go from there. So I can kind of, you know, from the beginning and on. And I think I'm going to try to even do like compilations and everything into it, you know, kind of figure out a way to kind of factor all that in and just kind of see how everything works out. But I'm going to get started and then just see how everything goes. Of course, as new stuff comes out, I'm going to rank that. Of course, we do got rumor of Paul's new album coming out. I'll definitely give that a Dustino score right away, now that I've got this established, and kind of go from there. But anyways, let me know your thoughts on the Dustino score. Do you like it? Let me know your thoughts on Ringo's Look Up. Do you like that also? It seems like everything's coming out great. Did you get your copy of the white vinyl yet? It seems like that took forever to ship out for us here in the States. But it doesn't seem like anybody else anywhere started popping up until the last few days here. So I don't know if it just everything got delayed coming from his site everywhere on that. But anyways, I'm going to get totally wrapping up though. Before I do that though, once again, I want to thank all my subscribers and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel. And like I always say, if you've stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. I already kind of gave you a couple of topic ideas, but just let me know your thoughts on Look Up and what you've been thinking on Ringo's new album there. Of course, there is news out there. I totally forgot to throw this in there about, I didn't write it down, so I guess that's why I forgot. But he is, the shows he did at the Ryman this past week were filmed, and there is going to be a TV special that'll be airing on CBS coming in the spring, I think they said. And it'll also be streaming on Paramount Plus when that comes out too. So looking forward to that. I kind of had a feeling they were going to do something like that, because I know most shows, especially with bigger artists like that, are at the Ryman, there's at least some sort of television special on like CMT or something like that. So country music television. So I kind of figured there'd be something with this. So yeah, there's going to be a whole CBS special based off of it. So there we go. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that. You'll be seeing the review on that once that comes out too. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Dustino score. Do you think I got pretty good breakdown on what to do here? I'm kind of curious how other albums are going to fare out as I get, ranking here, but I kind of like what I've done here so far. So anyways, I'm going to get fully signing out. I am Beetle Dustino, signing out.